EducTalk.
Hi, partner! Hello! Maayong buntag! Magandang umaga! Good morning! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to EducTalk Show! Your hosts, Cherry and Gallardo and Joy Fatima Ginolos. And today, let us all witness the story entitled SUGMAT by Corazon M, Almerino, giving us that life is not just about living at very good moments, but living at the very tough moments. Partner, are you excited to know more about the story of the Visayan literature? Absolutely, partner, because we are so blessed that we have the author and the characters right now who portray the respective roles in SUGMAT. And I'm pretty sure that we can grasp a lesson and to know more about the story, how it revolves. Well said, partner. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome a well-known Cebuano Visayan writer. Her poems were included in Sinugang, a Cebuano trio published by Women in Literary Arts in 1999, and she is the author of the literary work SUGMAT. Let me introduce to you Miss Corazon M. Almerino. It's nice to see you. So partner, at this time, let us welcome the major characters of the story. This is where the story revolves around the painful journey and the woman who carries the unbearable weight of sadness and suffering from peripartum depression. May I call on Miss Chona. Wow, you look great today. Thank you. Nice to meet you. The husband of Chona. So the loving and hardworking husband and a good father to his child who always think the best for his family until the end of his life. Let's welcome Mr. Boyet! Oh, you look dashing, Mr. The son of Chona and Boyet, who considered as a miracle and blessing baby, even if he has disabilities since birth. Help me welcome Dodong! Hello. Good morning. The one who portrayed Doctor and who took care of Chona and Boyet. A very good decision. Let's welcome Dr. Batis! Welcome, Doctor. Good morning, Doc. A Mexican friend of Chona who always give his time and extend his help to Chona. Help me welcome Miss Consuelo. Please to me. Welcome. You may now take your seats. So please hold on and relax because we have so many questions to ask from our guest today. EducTalk will return.
EducTalk.
I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain. I'm screaming loud tonight. Can you hear my voice inside? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. It's telling my no. I'll be strong. I play my fight song. But I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fire left in me.
Talk.
Welcome back to EducTalk Show. Okay, partner, this is it. At this moment, we will know the answers to our questions, and I know that our audience right now are very excited too. Yes, partner. I am also ready to know it.
First, let us ask the author of the story to share with us the summary.
Of course, Miss Cherry. So the story began with the parents, Chona and Boyet, who were living at California to work as a teacher in special education. So due to the chaos of their place, so they decided to move to the downtown since Chona and Boyet wants to bear a child, to have a child. So every Wednesday morning, so they go to the Virgen sa Guadalupe Church to ask a child to God. So finally, on the month of April, Chona didn't have her period. With that, Boyet brought her to the hospital and have her checked up, and she was confirmed as a 4 weeks pregnant. In the midst of their joy, Chona felt the pain and struggle of bearing the child on her stomach. So after a month of pain suffering, the time has finally come and Chona delivered her child. However, it was said that the child is premature, and it was interpreted by Dr. Bacchus. So the name of the child was Dodong. The child was blind and severely had a complication, but his situation was never a hindrance from Chona and Boyet to love their child as it is. So Boyet, the father of Dodong, was on the critical stage of life because of sickness. He had a tumor on his sigmoid colon, which gave him a less chances to survive in this world. Boyet would feel anxiety because of his illness. In his stage of suffering with his illness, he made a decision. He wants to die, so because of his illness. So Boyet desperately asked her wife Chona to kill him instead by overdosing him with pills, and would not let anyone touch his body to make his wife inconvenienced with the said crime. However, the wife did not agree upon his favor. That's why Boyet was brought to his doctor to inform him about Boyet's desire to die. Chona was desperate in begging for a second option in the situation of Boyet, but there wasn't any chance anymore. Boyet finally passed away, leaving the tape recording for his son, Dodong, to listen to it.
So, as the author of the story, why is it entitled SUGMAT?
As we all know that SUGMAT means that in a perception, it is make itself felt as a recurring pain and aching. This story is a literary piece which placing its readers in an atmosphere between grief and hope, which draw a resemblance of courage to choose with what to sustain and what to hurdle. In addition, it is a struggle of a woman in a context of family and depicts the challenges of the motherhood where all the responsibilities were thrown then.
What a great story!
Thank you, Miss Cherry.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you,
So, what about the characters of the story? Miss Chona, what are your insights of portraying the story, and can you share it to the audience?
Yes, well, in the story, I portray the role of Chona. In here, we can really see the struggles faced by Chona and how she overcome everything along with the difficulties. We all know that Chona lives with her husband and son in California. There, they face a lot of struggles, especially when the time that she gave birth to her son, Dodong. Dodong, who was born premature and was later on diagnosed of being blind. So, well, as you can see, Chona's role is not easy because of her difficult experiences in the story. But despite of her bad experiences, yes, she never gave up and never lost hope. Instead of giving up, she managed to be strong and independent mother to her son and wife to her husband. Even her husband passed away in the story. One word that I can describe to Chona is that she is brave enough as a mother and wife. So that is how I portray Chona in the story.
Wow, that's so thank you, Miss Chona. How about Mr. Boyet?
So, I portray Boyet, a loving and hardworking husband who did everything for his family, especially his child, Dodong, to the rest of his life. He did his best to provide the basic needs of the family, especially his child who has physically illness. It was not easy for him because he found out that he had a tumor on sigmoid colon, but he fought for survival because he knows that it was not easy for the side of Chona until death has called him.
Okay, Dodong, can you tell us about your character?
So, I portrayed Dodong, the son of Chona and Boyet. Dodong was born premature and was later on diagnosed as blind. His character as a blind person was never easy. He needs guidance from his mother in doing something since he can't rely on his eyes. He used his nose and ears as guidance.
What a sad story with a moral lesson.
Yes.
So let's proceed to Dr. Dati. So, as a physician in the story, how did you portray your character?
So I portray Dr. Batis, a physician doctor of Chona and Boyet. Her role is a family doctor of Chona and Boyet and who helped Chona to give birth. So since that their child has physical illness, so he did her best to give the couple a better guidance on how to handle Dodong's illness because she knows that it was not easy for them.
Okay.
So, how about you, Miss Consuelo?
So sometimes the perfect person for you is who you least expected it to be. So our friendship with Chona goes with unanticipated because it just happened unexpectedly. So from the moment that we met at the school, because her son was the classmate of my son, so we've started to build a strong connection with each other. And I know that Chona faces several challenges, and we all like to serve as a beacon of wisdom in our friends' lives. So when they're going through and when they have a hard time, so just knowing that they can count on us to be there, even if it's just to listen, is a great assistance so that we can make as a friend, since giving a great advice starts with simply being present. And for what we know, Chona sees me as her mother with a younger look or version. And I guess it could also be because of the support that I've shown to her. No matter what, she knows that I believe in her and that even the worst problems are usually temporary, and I let her know that help is available if she needs it. That is my significant role in the story.
What a good friend! Now let's go back to Miss Chona. So can you give us the significance of the story that is related to your life?
Yes, in this short story of Corazon Almerino, it gave me the significance of life to my perspective. Life is not just about living at the very good moments, but living at the very tough moments, in which we can learn and grow from it out from our comfort. Our experiences can be a medium to be better as an individual. Just like Chona, it was very hard for her to leave the place of mourning for her husband, who is now gone, but she chose to look at the side of positivity for her son, Diabelos, in order to give him a good life. It just means that the mother to survive for tomorrow. Therefore, SUGMAT is the story of reality of life, showing how Chona chooses to live instead of staying in the situation of hurt on the different challenges she has faced in. Thank you.
Thank you. Very well said. So what about me,
Miss Corazon, we wanted to know what are the K literary theory in the story.
So, the literary theory that used in the story was a feminist criticism. Because, as to sum up all of this realization on the story, feminist goal was to acknowledge what women could endure. As we all know, in the past, histories shown that women are disregarded in the society and being neglected. This story has somehow proven and what pain and struggles a woman can experience that even men could not experience, such as pregnancy. The relationship of the characters in the story shows a fairness, and Chona still have a voice. In the feminism, it does not focus on women only, but rather it is focused also in the gender equality.
So how about the symbolism and the theme of this story?
So, as an author, so the theme in the story depicts on learning to be brave and strong. And despite of how painful the situation could be, it also showed an unconditional love of a wife to her husband to the extent of being desperate. Knowing the fact that losing a loved one is not or never easy.
Yes.
Then, SUGMAT, we all know that SUGMAT symbolizes the pain and the challenges in the life of the recurrence of ailment, sickness, disease, or symptom that would be one of the conflict of this story, of my story.
Thank you so much, Miss Corazon. You know, partner, that the best line upon reading the piece of Miss Corazon is when Chona said that mubalhin na misunod buwan, bagong dapit, magsugod na ko og panghagpat kung unsa ang akong dadon, unsay ibilin, unsay tipigan, ug unsa ang angay buhian. And Chona was in the midst of mourning but chooses to move forward for the sake of her son Dodong. So she decided to bring the memories that they had with Boyet and his husband with their child Dodong is the only thing that have left for her to reminisce and somehow use the tragic experience as her stepping stone to move on and have a better life with her son Dodong. So no matter how painful this situation could be. So how about you, partner?
Absolutely, partner. In fact, I am a huge fan of Miss Corazon, and I also love the line, and it caught my attention. It's not like a line. It's not a line. It's more of a word, and the word is lunod patay, which means to survive.
Wow, thank you. So, partner, we are so thankful to our characters and the author, and thank you so much, everyone.
So, anything you want to promote? So, okay, thank you. So, everyone, televiewers, audience, if you want to grab a copy of my piece, so you just can go to national bookstores or any bookstores. And if you want my signature, just yeah, that's it. And I just want to extend my sincere gratitude. Thank you for portraying my piece and giving justice to my short story. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We are so privileged to have you here, guys, and especially to our audience who's here to witness our talk show. This has been your host, Fatima Ginolos and Gallardo. This is EducTalk Show, the talk of century.
EducTalk.
Bye! Bye!
Bye-bye, and thank you.
EducTalk.